Good morning, Habits. We're opening this week's show with...
You and me last forever. Oh yeah, all day and night I'm yours, leave me never. The only time I feel alright is by your side. Girl, I want to be with you all of the time, all day and all of the night. All day and all of the night. All day and all of the night.
Getting us off to a great start, the Kinks. And here are the artists whose requested records we shall be including during the first hour today. The Roulettes, Johnny Burnett, Doug Sheldon, Dusty Springfield, and the Flintstones. But we'll hear next Marvin Gaye's third American Top 40 hit, written by Holland Dozier Holland, and recorded with backing vocals by the Supremes. This was in 1963, and he would have to wait a further 6 years before breaking through as a solo artist in the UK, although this US hit, Can I Get a Witness, became popular here with other artists, and was later recorded by Dusty Springfield, the Rolling Stones, and Lulu.
Listen, everybody, especially you girls. Is it right to be left alone while the one you love is never home? I love too hard. My friends sometimes say, but I believe that a woman should be loved that way. But it hurts me so inside to see her treat me so unkind. Somebody, somewhere, tell her it's unfair. Can I get up with me? Can I get up with me? Can I get up with me? Somebody, is it right to be feeling so bad when you've given everything you had? Even talking in my sleep, 'cause I haven't seen my baby all week. Now you chicks who agree that this ain't the way love's supposed to be, let me hear you say yeah. Up early in the morning, with her on my mind, just to find out all night that I've been crying. But I believe a woman's a man's best friend, so I'm gonna stick by her till the bitter end. But she caused so much misery that I forget how love's supposed to be. Somebody, somewhere, tell her it ain't fair. Can I get up with me? Can I get a witness? I want a witness. Witness, witness. Everybody knows, especially you girls, a love can be sad, but half of love is twice as bad. And now all you chicks agree that this ain't the way it's supposed to be. Let me hear you say, yeah. I want a witness. I want a witness.
Now that hit by Marvin Gaye brings us to your letter, Aaron Linger in Paynton, telling me that you're the stepson of Peter Thorpe, one of the original Roulettes, a regular listener to this show, who was delighted recently when we included their single, The Long Cigarette, and he and his friends would love to hear something else by the group. So, fitting appropriately enough into this slot, here's their cover of another Marvin Gaye recording, Stubborn Kind of Fella.
Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody sing. Do-do-wow. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to put my arms around you, all because I wanna hold you tight. But every time I reach for you, baby, try to kiss you, you just jump out of sight. Oh, now I got news for you, baby. Now I'm
cover by the Roulettes that was their fourth single for EMI. And next, the ultra-glamorous artist born revoid of Frierson, who took the professional name of Ketty Lester and first worked at the Purple Onion Club in San Francisco before joining Cab Calloway's orchestra for a European tour. She recorded the superb record Love Letters in 1962 that reached the top 5 both in the States and the UK and eventually sold in excess of 1 million copies, though oddly it was to be her only hit, and she abandoned music for a career as a film and television actress.
Love letters straight from your heart. Keep us so near while apart. I'm not alone in the night. When I can have all the love you write, I'll memorize every line, and I kiss the name that you sign. Darling, then I'll read again right from the start. Love letters straight from your heart. I memorize every line, and I kiss the name that you sign. And darling, then I'll read again right from the start. Love letters straight from your
Well, it's hard to believe that Ketty Lester's now in her 70s, but so she is. And next, a singer whose life and career were tragically short, Darryl Banks, a Northern Soul favourite, who released just 2 albums and 7 singles, but at the age of 32 in 1970 was shot and killed by a policeman who'd been having an affair with Banks's girlfriend. Here's his 1967 recording of a song which had been written by Sylvia May and Henry Cosby for Stevie Wonder, but it was Banks's cover of this which made him a revered figure among Northern Soul fans. Angel Baby, Don't You Ever Leave Me.
Just spread your wings. Angel baby, don't you never leave me. I'll say better things, 'cause you know I'm glad I found you. I'm gonna dedicate my life to you and build my world around you. I'm gonna love you through the years. I'll never bring you pain or tears. I'm gonna keep you satisfied, so you'll never leave You make me smile when skies are gray now. But I'll never, 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 never smile again if somebody take my sunshine away. I'm gonna work and toil, sweat and strain. I got to give you little everything. No rich man, poor man, beggar man, please. Ever steal my baby away from me. Angel baby, don't you spread your wings. Angel baby, yeah. Talking about my baby. Listen, 'cause I love you and I need you and I want you for myself. I couldn't make it, baby, if you leave me for somebody else, my little angel baby, don't you think?
Well, that record by Darryl Banks brings us to this week's Stuck on 2 feature that'll have a slightly different slant, consisting of 2 consecutive UK hits that both stuck at number 2, and then we'll follow those with the one number 1 that held them both back from the top. So first, a release in 1966 by Manfred Mann that in its 3rd week in November reached its final destination of number 2, holding down that position for just 1 week. Semi-detached suburban Mr. James.
So you finally named the day when wedding bells will chime. I was sorry to hear you say you're gonna be his, not mine. Do you think you will be happy giving up your friends for your semi-detached suburban Mr. James? So you finally got your man. I hope you won't regret it. He can't love you the way I can. So please don't you forget it. Do you think you will be happy buttering the toast on your semi-detached suburban Mr. Most? I can see you in the morning time, washing day, the weather's fine, hanging things upon the line as your life slips away. So you finally named the day when wedding bells will chime. I was sorry to hear you say you're gonna be his, not mine. So you think you will be happy taking doggy for a walk with your semi-detached suburban Mr. James. Semi-detached suburban Mr. James. So you finally named the day. 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 So you finally named the day.
A song written for Manfred Mann by Jeff Stevens and John Carter, and I believe the name in the title had originally been Mr. Jones, but as Paul Jones had fairly recently left the band to be replaced by Mike Darbo, it was thought he might just take the reference personally, hence the change to Mr. James. However, this week that Manfred Mann slipped from number 2, the Spencer Davis Group slid into it with Gimme Some Lovin', which had been written by Spencer with Stevie and Muff Winwood, but this could only maintain the position for 1 week.
Well, my time went down by the
The Spencer Davis Group with the second single in succession to get to number 2 in the British charts, but no higher. And for both of those two, the record which held the top spot was won by the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations, which held on for the 2 weeks before relinquishing the number 1 to Tom Jones' Green Green Grass of Home, which remained at the top for a total of 6 weeks.
I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Good vibrations. Close my eyes. She's somehow closer now. Softly smile, I know she must be kind. In her eyes, she goes with me to a blossom room. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Good vibrations. Excitations. Good vibrations.
Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations.
An American and a British number 1 for the Beach Boys. And now let's enter the world of American writers and producers Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, whose contribution included the foundation of several labels. One of the first of these was called American Tiger Records, which they reactivated in 1963 before forming Daisy, and then going on to launch their most successful company, Redbird. We're going to hear now a group which had already been signed to Tiger, which in 1963 began releasing singles which had been made by Leola and the Lovejoys. This one was written by Jeff Barry and Eddie Greenidge, who'd created Betty Everett's hit You're No Good, covered in the UK by the Swinging Blue Jeans. And this Lovejoys track was titled He Ain't No Angel.
He ain't no angel, but that's alright. I said he ain't no
Not a hit, but a pretty sparky lyric on that one by Leola and the Lovejoys. And so to our next request, which is from Mike Meehan in Stalybridge, Cheshire, who tells me he always listens to the show through his open garage door while cleaning his car on the driveway. And as he's in his 60s, he claims to remember most of the numbers we play. I'm a bit surprised. He is, however, a big Johnny Burnett fan, and while saying he'd love to hear any of his popular tracks, he then gave 3 or 4 examples, of which we chose the first, Clown Shoes.
The girl that I intend to wed just bought a gift for me and said, I bought this specially for all your friends to see. Open it up, go ahead. Oh, that's almost swell, I said. I kissed her on the cheek and then began to read the note within. In these you'll look real smart because they match your heart. And so I took 'em out. Clown shoes, so what's it all about? Oh no, not clown shoes. They mean I'm in for some mighty bad news. She laughed at me and called my name, and all my friends, they did the same. Thought she was sweet and swell, and look how hard I fell, and now I know I was wrong. So I'll go and put my clown shoes on. So I'll go and put my clown shoes on. So I'll go and put my clown shoes on.
Johnny Burnett, who made the UK Top 40 with that song in 1962. The composer credits went to James Marcus Smith, the real name of P.J. Proby, and the record was issued at the beginning of 62 when Johnny was touring the UK with Gary U.S. Bonds and Gene McDaniels. So now let's hear one of P.J. Proby's own UK hits as we ease into Beatles territory. Here's a song John and Paul had written and recorded by the Beatles for the soundtrack of Help, but the writers were unhappy with the end product and decided to leave it out. But in order not to waste the song, they offered it to Jim Proby, who was more than happy because it came with an arrangement by George Martin and was produced by Ron Richards. That means a lot.
A friend says that your love won't mean a lot, and you knew that your love is all you got. At times things are so fine, and at times they're not. But when she says she loves you, that means a lot. A friend says that a love is never true, and you knew that this could apply to you. A touch can mean so much when it's all you got. When she says she loves you, that means a lot.
friend says that your love won't mean a lot, and you know that your love is all you've got. A church can mean so much when it's all you've got, but when she says she loves you, that means a lot. Can't you see? When she says she loves you, that means a lot. Can't you see? When she says she loves you, that means a lot.
Now that Lennon and McCartney song, recorded by P.J. Proby, brings us to this week's item from our A to Z of the Beatles. The anthem of Beatlemania, She Loves You.
A record that became famous for its catchphrase.
You coined this, yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't that really sweeping England right now? The phrasing, yeah, 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 on all the songs?
Yeah, well, that was the sort of main catchphrase from She Loves You. But we stuck that on, we'd written the song nearly, and then we suddenly needed more, so we had yeah, yeah, yeah. And it caught on, they used it for, if you're going to be with it or hip.
That's sort of a trademark for you boys now.
Yeah, we'll have to write another song with it.
She Loves You was the Beatles' third British #1 record. In fact, Britain's biggest-selling record until 1978, when it was overtaken by, of all people, Paul McCartney, with Mull of Kintyre. Here's Paul remembering writing She Loves You.
John and I wrote it together. We were in a van up in Newcastle somewhere. We were just going up to our hotel. I originally got an idea of doing one of those answering songs where a couple of us sing about She Loves You and the other one sort of says the yes bit, yeah, yeah, answering whoever's saying it, but we decided that was a crummy idea anyway, as it was, but that at least we had the idea to write a song called She Loves You then, and we just sat up in the hotel bedroom for a few hours and wrote it,
Beatles producer George Martin.
I used to sit in a high stool in the studio, and John and Paul would stand in front of me playing their acoustic guitars, and they'd sing it to me together. And George would join in on the choruses. When they played She Loves You first of all, I thought it was great, but one thing struck me as being very odd. And that was that they finished on this curious singing chord, which was a sort of major sixth, with George doing the sixth and the others doing the third and the fifth in the chord. And it was just like a Glenn Miller arrangement. So I like the song very much, but it's extraordinary what you're singing, because to me it's a bit old-fashioned. They said, oh, it's a great chord, that. No one's ever heard it before. Of course, I'd heard it lots of times before. However, I realised it was good enough not to change, and we let it go at that. And of course, that was really the most important part of the song.
The Beatles performed She Loves You at the event that signalled the start of Beatlemania, the Royal Variety Performance in November '63, complete with screaming fans packing the streets around Leicester Square, London. It's estimated that nearly half of the British population watched the television performance at the Royal Show, with a few million more, those without TV sets, listening on the radio. Press interest was immense too. When the news broke that they'd be on the show, the BBC sent Peter Woods, a man better known in Britain for news and current affairs programmes, to interview the group.
Well, lads, almost unknown in January and now going into the Royal Command performance in November. This is quite a rise even for your business, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, but it's been very quick and we have been very lucky.
Yeah. How much of this is due, do you think, to pure musical talent?
Don't know. No idea. You just can't tell, maybe a lot of it, maybe none of it.
I agree with Paul, It's very,
How much of this is getting popularity by acting the fool a bit and playing around?
Well, I mean, that's just natural. We don't do it, you know, we do it anyway, whether we're on stage or
But your funny
not.
haircuts aren't natural to me.
Well, we don't think they're funny, you see, Copper.
Paul, coming quickly back to you again, Mr. Edward Heath, the Lord Privy Seal, has said that the other night he found it difficult to distinguish what you were saying as Queen's English. Now, are you going to try and lose some of your Liverpool dialect for the Royal Show?
No,
just
you're
won't
kidding.
vote for him.
No. No, we wouldn't bother doing that. You know, we don't all speak like them BBC posh fellas, you know.
No, we don't.
Gum we don't.
No.
Right up north.
Well, with that, I better wish you good luck in the show. What song will you be singing most there, do you think?
Well, I don't know, but I should imagine we'd do She Loves You.
Jolly good.
Jolly good.
1, 2. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. Think you've lost your love? Well, I saw her yesterday, yeah. It's you she's thinking of, and she told me what to say, yeah. She said she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. Yes, she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She said you hurt her so, she almost lost her mind. Now she says she knows you're not the hurting kind. She said she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. Yes, she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Though it's up to you, I think it's only fair. Pride couldn't hurt you too. Apologize to her, because she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. Yes, she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. A love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
A long, long time ago.
50 years on from the day the music died, Radio 2 remembers Buddy Holly. In a series of documentaries and a drama, we look back at the events of February 1959.
Every day.
I'm Don McLean, and I'll be hosting an exclusive with Buddy's wife, Maria Elena Holly.
And throughout February, Radio 2 celebrates some of the music and cultural icons of the 1950s.
Hi, this is Eddie Cochran, speaking from the station with a big sound all year round.
Plus, we discover how Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz helped shape American TV.
This is a Ricky Ricardo production.
Radio 2's 50s season, this February.
In every other song that I've heard lately, some fellow gets shot, and his baby and his best friend both die with him, as likely as not. In half of the other songs, some cats crying are ready to die. We've lost most all of our happy people, and I'm a-wondering why. Let's think about living. Let's think about loving. Let's think about the hooping and the hopping and the bopping and the loving, lovey-doving. Let's forget about the wine and the crying, the shooting and the dying, and the fellow with a switchblade knife. Let's think about living. Let's think about life. We lost old Marty Robbins down in El Paso a little while back. And now Miss Patty Page, or one of them, is wearing black. And Kathy's clown has Don and Phil where they feel like they could die. If we keep on losing our singers like that, I'll be the only one you can buy. Let's think about living. Let's think about loving. Let's think about the hooping and the hopping and the bopping and the lovey-dovey. Let's forget about the whining and the crying and the shooting and the dying and the fellow with a switchblade knife. Let's think about living. Let's think about life. Let's think about living. Let's think about loving. Let's think about the hooping and the hopping and the bopping and the lovey-dovey. Let's forget about the whining and the crying and the shooting and the dying and the fellow with a switchblade knife. Let's think about living. Let's think about life. Let's think about living. Let's think about life. Let's think about living. Let's think about life.
Well, that was Texas-born Bob Luman, who was a star baseball player at school, but also had a passion for country music and deciding to turn professional himself after seeing Elvis in concert in 1955. After numerous failed attempts himself on a variety of labels, Luman was on the point of giving up when he met music publisher Wesley Rose, who persuaded him to have one final attempt with the song that we just heard by Boodle O'Brien, Let's Think About Living, which was a UK top 10 hit in 1960, and takes us to our Playing Hard to Get feature, and a letter from Diane Draper of Banbury on behalf of her sister Marion Jarvis, who lives in Australia and has been searching unsuccessfully for a record made by Doug Sheldon in 1962. I think part of the problem may be, Diane, that you haven't got the title quite right, thinking that it's Your Mama Died in Her Sleep Last Night. Well, the good news is it's not quite as bad as that. The title actually being Your Ma Said You Cried in Your Sleep Last Night. And that's what we'll hear for you and send you a Sound of the 60s CD copy of to take to Marion when you visit in April.
Sleep last night. Your ma said you cried in your sleep last night. You should have seen the look in her eye. I had to tell her some little white lie. So true to you. I know I haven't been so true to you. Don't you cry, don't you cry, don't you cry no more, please. Ain't I gonna feel the way it was before, babe?
Fairground Barker, then actor, singer and novelist Doug Sheldon, and that was his biggest hit single, getting into the UK Top 30 in 1962. And here's a letter from Christine Smith of Bingley, West Yorkshire, whose fond memories of her cousin Leslie Morris, the pair of them having been more like sisters apparently. We've been asked to play a Dusty Springfield record for you, Leslie, so here's a track from an EP called Dusty in New York, which she made during her first excursion into a recording studio in the Big Apple, and this song is called I Want Your Love Tonight.
Oh
And that Dusty Springfield EP track brings us to the final record on side 1 this week, after which we shall break for the 9 o'clock Radio 2 news summary and then resume with side 2 of Sounds of the 60s. Now, Tony Hoffman is an avid collector of instrumental music, and as a labour of love, he's put together a CD on a brand new label called Instro Beat, 28 British instrumentals of the 60s, containing tracks by Sounds Incorporated, The Shadows, including true stereo versions sourced from masters in the USA, the Dakotas, Judd Proctor, the Fentones, and many more. We're going to hear one now by the Flintstones, signed by Joe Meek to his Triumph label in 1964. They underwent a change of lineup and released this track under the supervision of Mickey Most, but unfortunately, like the band, it disappeared without trace. It was called Workout. Side 2 of Sounds of the 60s continues after the news. This is BBC Radio 2 online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 9 o'clock. This is Ricky Salmon. There's been widespread criticism of plans to give £12,000 to the families of all those killed in the Troubles in Northern Ireland. The proposals, which are made in an independent report, suggest the government should pay the money to families of paramilitaries, as well as the relatives of innocent victims. The former Northern Ireland First Minister, Lord Trimble, says many people would be offended by the idea.
What the victims of the Troubles want is, first of all, to be remembered, and then, secondly, they want to feel that what they suffered was not in vain, that their sacrifice helped to build a better, more safer and more democratic future for people in Northern Ireland. And to come forward first with money is offensive.
A 20-year-old Belgian man has been charged with killing 2 children and a carer at a creche in Belgium. 10 other children and 2 staff are recovering in hospital from stab wounds after the attack in the town of Dendermonde yesterday. The man's been remanded in custody. The BBC says it still won't broadcast a charity appeal for Gaza, despite being urged to reconsider by the government. The corporation says it doesn't want to compromise its commitment to impartiality. The former Labour MP Tony Benn will be joining a protest outside the BBC in London this afternoon. A fierce storm in southwest France has left 750,000 homes without electricity. Heavy rain and winds of about 90 miles an hour also forced the closure of Bordeaux Airport. Jonathan Ross is back on Radio 2 this morning after his 3-month suspension. Last night on his BBC One chat show, he apologised again for the prank calls which he made to the actor Andrew Sachs. The TV critic for the Daily Star, Mike Ward, believes he was a bit subdued on his first night back.
He's sort of humbled and chastised by the whole experience, and you're very, very conscious. And I just sensed, although there were plenty of glimpses of his old self, I sensed that he was aware throughout the programme of his own discomfort.
Nearly 500,000 people across the UK are expected to take part in the RSPB's Big Garden Birdwatch this weekend by spending an hour logging the birds which they see in their garden or in a nearby park. It's 30 years since the annual survey was first carried out, as Janat Jalil reports.
The RSPB says that since the Big Garden Birdwatch began, volunteers have spent more than 3 million hours counting birds in their gardens, providing invaluable data about the winter habits of birds since 1979. The survey has revealed the alarming decline in the number of song thrushes, house sparrows and starlings. This year, the RSPB is calling on bird lovers to keep their eyes peeled for more unusual visitors to their gardens, such as redpolls, yellowhammers and bramblings.
And the weather, there'll be scattered, sometimes heavy showers in the north and west. Showers will spread across northern Scotland later, but die away across England, Wales and Northern Ireland. BBC News, 3 minutes past 9, are next at 10.
And side 2 of Sounds of the 60s. Band 1, a top 10 hit by The Foremost from 1964, A Little Loving.
A little loving, a little loving, goes a long, 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 long way. A little loving, goes a long, 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 long way. I catch a train tonight about 8, and I'll be gone for many a day. So give me something to remember. Loving goes a long way. I'm gonna miss you after I'm gone. I'm gonna wish you asked me to stay. So won't you give me one more kiss, dear? A little loving goes a long way. A little loving goes a long, 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 long way. A little loving goes a long, 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 long way. I don't know where I heard it before. I only know it's true what they say. So give me something to remember. Little loving goes a long way. Something to remember. Loving goes a long way. So give me something to remember. Little loving, yeah, a little loving, a little loving goes a long, long way.
The Foremost's third and final single to make the top 20, and also their biggest hit. And now let's see who will be the other artists on this week's show for whom there have been requests. First of all, Johnny Tillotson, then Acker Bilk in celebration of his 80th birthday. And in our 3 in a row spot, songs that were all hits for Billy Fury, but in their original versions by Gladys Knight and the Pips, Vic Dana and Tony Orlando. And finally, Chris Kenner. And next, 5 American sisters of the Shepherd family, Martha, Mary, Lou, Gail and Judy, who'd achieved a UK Top 20 hit back in 1957 with a song called Alone. But we're going to hear a track written by Bob Crewe and Bob Gaudio in 1963, and this one was titled Don't Mention My Name. The Shepherd Sisters, bringing us to the Johnny Tillotson record I mentioned a couple of minutes ago. This is for the 60th birthday in 2 days' time of Alan Dent, who I'm told never misses this show. And my letter is from your brother Mick and his wife Wendy in Torksey in Lincolnshire, who's never been allowed to forget that he once smashed your Airfix model of the Bismarck with a hammer while you were outside looking in. He hopes that this may compensate. And, by the way, he also mentioned that you like to walk 10 or 12 miles every Saturday with your dog while listening to this programme. Remarkable. I wonder if anyone can cap that. Anyway, your peacemaking record by Johnny Tillotson from 1964 is Take This Hammer.
Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone, tell him I'm gone. I'm gonna ride that midnight special. I'm gonna ride that midnight special. I'm gonna ride that midnight special. And I ain't coming back, oh, I ain't coming back. I take this hammer, take it to the captain. I Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone. Oh, tell him I'm gone. I don't want your cold iron shackles. I don't want your cold iron shackles. Now I don't want your cold iron shackles, 'cause they hurt my legs. Oh, they hurt my legs. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone. Oh, tell him I'm gone. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Take this hammer, take it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone. Tell him I'm gone.
Johnny Tillotson's performance of a song recorded by many acts, including Lonnie Donegan, Johnny Cash, and the Spencer Davis Group. It was a traditional work song common with southern prison gangs into the 20th century and first made popular by Huddie Ledbetter. Well, from that we move on to a track recorded and released at the very end of 1969 by the Delphonics, but it wasn't until early 1970 that it found its way into the American charts. But it took a further year for anything to happen to it when it was reissued in 1971. It had been written by Tom Bell with group leader singer William Hart and was used as a pivotal part of the plot in Tarantino's cult movie of 1997, Jackie Brown, titled Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time?
Gave my heart and soul to you, girl. Didn't I do it, baby? Didn't I do it, baby?
A Delphonics disc from '69, used in a Tarantino movie in 1997, leading us to this week's Junior Choice, and one of the most requested songs featured on that programme in the '60s. This was Messing About on the River by Tony Hatch, inspired by the book Wind in the Willows. It was recorded by Scottish folk singer Josh McRae, who was also a founder member of the Scottish folk group The Reivers. McRae was one of the first folk singers to emerge from Scotland during the '60s folk explosion, and he died in the late 1970s.
When the weather is fine, and you know it's a sign for messing about on the river. If you take my advice, there's nothing so nice as messing about on the river. There are longboats and short boats and all sorts of craft, and cruisers and keelboats and some with no draft. So take off your coat and hop in a boat, go messing about on the river. There are boats made from kits that reach you in bits for messing about on the river. Or you might like to scull in a glass fiber hull, just messing about on the river. There are tillers and rudders and anchors and cleats and ropes that are sometimes referred to as sheets. With the wind in your face, there's no finer place than messing about on the river. There are skippers and mates and rowing club mates just messing about on the river. There are pontoons and trots and all sorts of knots for messing about on the river. With thin boards and outboards and dinghies you sail, the first thing you learn is the right way to bail. In a one-seat canoe, you're the skipper and crew, just messing about on the river. There are bridges and locks and moorings and docks when messing about on the river. There's a whirlpool and weir that you mustn't go near when messing about on the river. There are backwater places all hidden from view and quaint little islands just awaiting for you. So I'll leave you right now to cast off your bow, to go messing about on the river.
A popular folk song for the late Josh McRae, written by Tony Hatch. And from that we turn to a Paul Simon song for the album he made in 1968 with Art Garfunkel, Bookends. This song was also released as a single in the UK in 1972. There's reference here to a girl called Kathy, who was Kathy Chitty, whom he'd met in 1964 at the very first English folk club he played in, the Railway Inn Folk Club in Brentwood, Essex. And Simon had a relationship with her while living in England in 1965, and she's referred to in at least 3 of his songs. Well, we're going to hear another track from the album, America, on which top session drummer Hal Blaine played and considered it one of his favourite moments in the studio.
Us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag, so we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner pies and walked off to look for America. I said as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. It took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I've come to look for America. Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said be careful, his bow tie is really a camera. Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. We smoked the last one an hour ago. So I looked at the scenery. She read her magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm empty and aching, and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. All come to look for America.
Simon and Garfunkel recorded in England in 1968. Now, the musical calendar around today's date is sparkling with significant occasions for that much-loved star, Mr. Acker Bilk. Many have written to us to point out some of these events, and I've also got in front of me a letter from Acker's personal manager, Pamela Sutton, who's clearly and justifiably proud of her illustrious client. In 4 days' time, on January the 28th, Acker reaches his 80th birthday, and on November the 1st, while performing with his Paramount Jazz Band at the Blackheath Halls in London, he's to be presented with the Worshipful Company of Musicians Silver Medal for Lifetime Achievement. This will go nicely with the MBE he received from Her Majesty the Queen in 2001 and the BMI Award in 2004 as a songwriter for his wonderful Stranger on the Shore. In his 59 years plus as a musician, he's toured the world many times, and although he now paces himself sensibly, it's been suggested that 2009 might possibly be his last year of extensive touring. As our tribute to the great man today, here's the record from 1960 that was his second top 10 hit with his band in the UK, Buonasera.
say goodnight to Napoli. Though it's hard for us to whisper Buonasera, with that old moon above the Mediterranean Sea. In the morning, Signorina, we'll go walking where the mountains of the sun come into sight. And by that little jeweler's shop, we'll stop and linger while I buy a wedding ring for your finger. Well, in the meantime, let me tell you that I love you. Hey, Buonasera, Signorina, kiss me goodnight. Hey!
A tribute to the imminent 80th birthday of an outstanding personality and leading British musician with whom it's been a privilege to have worked with so many times over the years, Mr. Acker Bilk. Now, our 3 in a row spot this week has a strong Billy Fury connection, so just before we get to it, let's have one of the maestro's own records first. This was his second top 20 hit and first of the 60s. Most of his later hits were covers of American singles, but this was one of Billy's own songs that he wrote after seeing an obscure French film with English subtitles starring an actress named Colette. And so to a note now on how he wrote the lyric on a cigarette paper he found on the cinema floor.
Oh, Colette, at past 8, don't be late, don't forget we have a date, Colette, how I love you, Colette, oh, be on time and say you're mine, Colette. Believe me, honey, when I say I think about you night and day, Colette, how I need you, Colette. Don't let us part, you break my heart, Colette. So you're walking close by, didn't start talking 'cause I was so shy. Then you looked into my eyes, don't wanna whisper any goodbyes, Colette, Colette, don't forget, Colette, I need you so, don't ever go, Colette. 9:30, ain't on time, yes, you played me down the line, Colette, how I love you, Colette. Broke a vow, I'm lonely now, Colette. You broke a vow, I'm lonely now, Colette. You broke a vow, I'm lonely now,
A Billy Fury top 10 hit in 1960, which he'd been inspired to write sitting in an English cinema. And so, to your note now, Sean Connolly of Liverpool, suggesting 3 Billy Fury hit songs, but all of them as recorded by the original artists. In order of appearance, these will be Letter Full of Tears by Gladys Knight and the Pips, then Billy's number 14 in 1964, which had been recorded 2 years earlier by Vic Dana, I Will, and then we'll conclude with the song that was a direct cover by Billy in 1961, but first recorded by Tony Orlando, Halfway to Paradise.
Here comes the mailman, walking, 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 walking up the street, and he looks like he has a letter today for me. Oh, yes, it does. Wait a minute, let me look inside. Wait a minute, y'all. No, it couldn't be, couldn't be, couldn't be. Couldn't be from a guy, because he brought me, yeah, no, no. Yes, it did. I said it brought me. Said it did. Yes, it did. A letter full of tears. I thought we had a love so strong. Oh, yes, we did now. A love so strong. It would take a lifetime to break us apart. Hey, 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 hey. But I found out today. I found out today I was wrong. Oh, yes, I was. And my reward, my reward, my reward, my was a broken heart. Here comes the teardrops. Lord, welcome, welcome to my house. Welcome, welcome. And I couldn't hold them back. Sure couldn't hold them back, no matter if I tried. No, no, no. Wait a minute, let me look inside. Wait a minute, y'all. No, it couldn't be, couldn't be, couldn't be. Couldn't be from a guy, because he brought me. Hey, hey. Yes, it did. I said it brought me. Well, yes, it did. A letter full of tears. Here comes the mailman, bringing me tears. Oh, yes, he is, man. Here comes the mailman. Here it comes, y'all. Here comes. Uh-huh. Here comes the mailman. Yes, he did. Here comes. Bringing me tears. Whoa, 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 yes, it did. Yes, it did. Said it brought me. Hey, 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 yes, it did. Letter full of tears, y'all. Hey, hey, no, no.
I don't wanna be the one to say I'm gonna miss you, but I will, I will. I don't wanna say I'm gonna cry my eyes out, baby, but I will, I will. I'm not ashamed for you to know how much I really loved you so, 'cause it was such a thrill. And just remember, when you're gone, there'll be that someone sad who loves you still. You will look at him and see me smiling back at you. I know you will, you will. You will find yourself repeating things we used to do. I know you will, you will. But don't wonder if you wanna come back. Just come running home to me and let me feel the thrill. 'Cause I'm the one who told you I would love you, dear, forever. And I will, I will. I will, I will. I will, Yes, I will. Oh, you will look at him and see me smiling back at you. I just know you will. You will. And you will find yourself repeating things we used to do. I know you will. You will. But don't wonder if you wanna come back. Just come running home to me and let me feel the thrill. 'Cause I'm the one who told you I would love you, dear, forever. And I will. I will. I'm the one who told you I would love you, dear, forever. And I will. I will. I will.
Ago, the Beatles made their final live public performance.
People complained, you know, it was Savile Row in the middle of the day.
The small rooftop concert at their office in central London was an attempt to get back to basics.
And the coppers came on the door and I'm going to arrest everybody, and George went white.
Hastily arranged in an effort to repair the fractious attitude that was tearing the band apart, the concert became the focus for the Let It Be film and album.
When we got to the rooftop session, I think spirits were lifted a good deal higher than they had been for the couple of days previous.
Join me, Charlene Spiteri, for the story behind the Beatles' final public performance. Tuesday night from 10:30 on BBC Radio 2.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves. I hope we pass the audition.
You don't drive a big fine car. You don't look like a movie star. And on your money we won't get far. But baby, you got what it takes to satisfy. You got what it takes to set my soul on fire. Whoa, oh yeah, you got what it takes for me. Now you don't live in a beautiful place. You don't dress with the best of taste. And nature didn't give you such a beautiful face.
You got what it takes to satisfy. You got what it takes to set my soul on fire. Whoa, 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 oh yeah. You got what it takes for me. Now when you're near me, ooh-wee, my head goes around and around. And when you kiss me, oh yeah, my love comes tumbling down. You send me, you don't live in a beautiful place. You don't dress with the best of taste, and nature didn't give you such a beautiful face. But baby, you got what it takes to satisfy. You got what it takes to set my soul on fire. Whoa, and whoa, whoa. You got what it takes for me. Now when you're near me, little girl, my head goes around and around. And when you kiss me, oh yeah, my love comes tumbling down. You send me, you don't live in a beautiful place. You don't dress with the best of taste, and nature didn't give you such a beautiful face. But baby, you got what it takes to satisfy. You got what it takes to set my soul on fire. Whoa, oh yeah, you got what it takes for me. Oh yeah, you got what it takes. Don't need no money.
One of the most important figures on the Motown organisation for some years, until his death from a stroke in 1993 at the age of 54, Marv Johnson. The song we just heard was credited to Berry Gordy Jr., Gwen Fuker and Raquel Davis, but Johnson always claimed that he'd written it himself when he was with the Paul Huckelbuck Band, with which he performed for many years. Whatever the truth of that, You Got What It Takes was Marv's breakthrough single, both here and in America, reaching number 10 in the US and number 5 in the UK. And next, a Scottish singer who never managed to achieve the success she deserved. This was Elizabeth Thompson, born in Glasgow, who did a stint in the Star Club in Hamburg, returning to the UK in 1964, where she was signed by Decca as Barry St. John. Switching later to Columbia, she cut the now collectible single Come Away Melinda. In 1968, there was another move to Major Minor, where she recorded this cover of the Box Tops' top 20 hit, Cry Like a Baby.
When I think about the good love you gave me, cry like a baby. Living without you's driving me crazy. Cry like a baby. I know now you're no plaything, nor a toy or little string. As I look back on a love so sweet now, cry like a baby. Every road is a lonely street now, cry like a baby. I know now you're no plaything, nor a toy or little string. Today we passed on the streets, oh, but you walked on by. My heart just fell at my feet. Once again I began to cry. Oh, here's the dance. When I think about the good love you gave me, cry like a baby.
Well, it's probably small consolation at the end of the day, but at least Barry St. John was one of those artists who in the 70s found that some of her tracks were becoming sought after by the Northern Soul crowd. In this piece about her, it was pertinent to mention the group the Box Tops, so let's stay with that Memphis band that began as the DeVilles. Personnel and name both changed from time to time, at one stage becoming Ronnie and the DeVilles. By 1968, they were renamed a final time, becoming the Box Tops, and recording The Letter, which was a US #1 and an international hit, selling over 4 million copies. In 1969, this was the last of 3 top 40 hits achieved in the UK, Soul Deep.
Darling, I don't know much. I know I love you so much. My life depends on your touch, and my love is a river running so deep, way down inside me. It's up so deep, it's too big to hide, and it can't be denied. Love is a river running so deep. I work myself to death for ya, just to show I adore ya. Nothing I wouldn't do for ya, 'cause my love is a river running so deep, way down inside me. It's up so deep, it's too big to hide, and it can't be denied. Love is a river running so deep. All I ever am or hope to be depends on your love for me. Baby, believe me, if you should leave me, I'd be nothing but an empty shell. I know darn well I can tell now. I don't know much, I know I love you so much. My life depends on your touch, and my love is a river running so deep, way down inside me. It's up so deep, it's too big to hide, and it can't be denied. Love is a river running so deep. Now, love is a river running so deep, way down inside me. It's up so deep. My love is a river running so deep, way down inside me. It's up so deep. My love is a river running so deep.
The last UK hit by the Box Tops is followed now by the last request on this week's show from Jerry Murphy of Liverpool, referring to the song Land of a Thousand Dances, asking did we know that the original version was written and recorded by Southern soul giant Chris Kenner, and made by him there in New Orleans for the local label Instant. This was in 1962 and starts with a field holler, motoring along to an exhilarating backing chorus with pumping piano from the great Alan Toussaint. Quite right on all points, Jerry, but did you know that many of the compilations on which this track has appeared have cut off that slow intro, beginning instead with Toussaint's piano playing? All in place here, though, in the complete original version, with that holler in its full glory. Played, of course, for your great friend and hostess in New Orleans, Karen Egan, who took you to some great gigs at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, known as Jazz Fests.
Send you, where will you send me? I'm gonna send you to that land, the land of a thousand dances. Got to know how to pound it, and burn it wrongly. You gotta know how to twist, go like this. That's data to the alligator. Twist, twister, like your sister.
tribute from Jerry Murphy to Chris Kenner and other musicians and close friends in captivating New Orleans. And to close this week's show, here are the Mamas and the Papas. As with most of their successful singles, this one, 1230, was written by group founder member John Phillips while they were briefly calling themselves the Magic Circle, before settling on the Mamas and the Papas.
I used to live in New York City. Everything there was dark and dirty. Outside my window was a steeple with a clock that always said 12:30. Young girls are coming to the canyon, and in the mornings I can see them walking. I can no longer keep my blind crossed, and I can't keep myself from talking. At first so strange to feel so friendly, to say good morning and really mean it, to feel these changes happening in me, but not to notice till I feel it. Young girls are coming to the canyon, and in the mornings I can see them walking. I can no longer keep my blind crossed, and I can't keep myself from talking. Cloudy waters cast no reflection. Images of beauty lie there stagnant. Vibrations bounce in no direction, but lie there shattered into fragments. Young girls are coming to the canyon, and in the mornings I can see them walking. I can no longer keep my blind and I can't keep myself.
The Mamas and the Papas bringing to its end another edition of Sounds of the 60s, compiled and produced by Phil the Collector Swern. And this is your old mate Brian Matthews saying that's a lot for this week. See you next week. Jonathan Ross follows the news. This is BBC Radio 2, online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 10 o'clock. This is Ricky Salmon.